Okay, everybody, welcome back to. It's been a while. I haven't done a Zoom podcast in a while. So, Laura, my love, welcome to the podcast. How we doing, my love?
Great, great. Thank you for having me.
Anytime. Where are you at the moment? Because I feel like I watch your stories and you're having a bit of like an Aussie tour.
Yeah, a bit of an Aussie tour. Yeah, I'm in Melbourne at the moment. I was in Bali for a bit, head back to
Nice.
Gold Coast next week for a brief stint, and then back to Melbourne again. So, yeah.
Any reason or just
Look, it started as a whim. I started traveling for work. So I had Bali for a client show, and I thought I'm just going to stay a bit longer because I'm enjoying it here. And then I've got some friends in Melbourne who were like, well, just come to Melbourne for a bit. I was like, all right, let's go to Melbourne for a bit. And that week became a month, which has become, I think, almost 3 months now. And
okay.
I found a place I love, so I'm going to move here.
Oh
So I'm
wow,
going to go
sick.
back to Gold Coast and pack up my life and move down. So yeah.
That's so interesting that it's that way around. Because most
Mhm.
people are the other way around, right? People go like Sydney, Melbourne, and they move to the Gold Coast.
I know, I know. Look, Melbourne's got art, theatre, culture. Like there's a lot of different elements to it, which and the direction I'm kind of moving a lot with my business and mission makes sense. It's like put yourself in environments where you can expand your mind a bit. So I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
let's do this for a
nice.
bit and do some expansion. And then I've still got a place up in the Gold Coast, so I kind of bounce between the two, you know?
Sick. Okay, cool. I guess give me because I obviously I know you, but I don't know you, right? So I guess give me and give the listeners like an insight into what got you to the woman you are today. So like how am I speaking to you today? Like where did you grow up and like what was childhood like and what led you to kind of the position you're in now?
Oof. How long have we got? That's a
As long as you
the
need,
story
as long
and
as you
a half.
need.
Yeah, yeah. Look, I'll start with like a brief recap, and then we can kind of like go from there. For those who don't know me, hi, I'm Lauren. I've been in the fitness industry for 12 years now. Started out as a competitor. That was kind of like my introduction, and fell in love with it. And as many do, like it changes our life. And I decided I wanted to help others, so became a coach from that side, and have been coaching now like 8, 9 years, and now slowly starting to see a slightly different direction with where that coaching is going as well. But prior to that, I was a high school English and drama teacher, and very much the creative, artsy, like thespian kind of nerd. I was not really into health and fitness. I was like the black sheep of my family because my family are big sports people, like very much into like soccer
Yeah.
and athletics. So yeah, I was the black sheep who was like writing books and doing art while they were all pursuing professional sport. Yeah.
What's how long do you a teacher for?
Not long, about 3 years. So I knew it was never going to be. It was never the lifelong kind of dream, but I've always sort of liked teaching. It was the thing of I was trying to write books at the time and follow creative pursuits. So it's that, well, I'll
Yeah,
teach
okay.
while I do the thing, because it's money, it's income, and I was raised in a family that were they're very safe. Chase
Yeah.
the safe job, stable income, like most
Yeah.
people, right? So it was kind of pushed in that direction. But I really struggle with kind of conventional systems.
Yeah.
So very quickly I realized I wasn't going to last in teaching because they try and shove students into boxes based off of like curriculums, and I was like, I can't do this. So I didn't last very long, about 3 years, and then I was like, this is not for me.
Where are you born and raised?
Australia,
Okay.
Sydney, but
Okay.
British parents. Yeah.
Okay, so when did your parents move over? I'm guessing before you.
Yeah, they've been here for 20, 30 years. Like how my family came out to Australia was my dad was brought out on a soccer scholarship sport,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
they just stayed in Australia, and then yeah, they were here a good 22 years or so, and then started the family.
Oh wow, okay. Oh, so it's like 20 years before you are like if do you have siblings?
Yes, yeah, so I'm a
Yeah.
twin.
Oh wow,
And
okay.
then I've got, yeah, she's nothing like me.
Yeah.
Completely different in every single way. But we have the same mannerisms to an extent. And then, yeah, little sister and a baby brother. He's 10 years younger.
Oh wow, okay. Okay, it kind of makes sense now. Now that you're like artsy and drama, it kind of makes sense why you want to be based in Melbourne because it's very European, it's very like it has kind of the cobble streets, and do you know what I mean? Like it's very kind of going to Melbourne was literally just like, oh, I might as well. Because I think we stayed in like, is it Flinders Street, like that area.
Yeah,
Like it's
yeah.
just like London. That is literally just London
It's like
throughout.
London.
So it's like
Hmm.
it felt no different. So yeah, that kind of
Yeah,
makes sense. Yeah, 100%.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
then so okay, give me like a okay, I'm gonna be rude. How old are you?
Right. How old do you think? No, I'm 30, I'm 34.
Okay, so you did teaching. Did you go to uni? Obviously, you went to uni, and then
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Straight from high school, 4 years of university. I was studying creative arts, theatre, performance,
yeah.
English lit, and then a master's in teaching, and then spent a few years teaching, and then started. I kind of overlapped my teaching with my coaching. Started getting
Okay.
certified and working for a company, and then moved out of teaching into coaching, and then eventually my own
Was that
online
all
business.
when you were in Sydney? So that was all in Sydney you were doing that.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
this is all Sydney up until it was 2021. I moved up to the Gold Coast just after all the COVID
Right.
lockdowns.
Yeah.
As soon as
Okay.
it was
Yeah.
opening, straight up
Freedom.
north. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
freedom.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. That all makes sense. And then, so you've been coaching online for like 6 years now, give or take, something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, a bit
Sick.
over that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Then how did you get into like? Because you said like you started competing, which is kind of like the opposite. Most people go to the gym because like your dad would have gone to the gym because he has to for football, right? Or vice versa. Like people go to the gym because they want to improve themselves, not because they want to compete. So what got you into the gym like to start off with that? When did you? Because obviously, like you say, like you're a drama girl. So like, why did you get into the gym?
It's a weird story and it's kind of almost come full circle, funnily enough. So for my final year, my performance degree, we had to create a self-devised performance, and we were given a topic of like male stereotypes. And so I was given the role of a male gym bro, and I had to play that. We had a year to do this performance. I was like, I'm
Whoa,
going to go
okay,
full meta
fuck.
and become a male gym bro. So I literally got on bodybuilding.com and started eating the food and drinking the protein shakes and going to the
Oh,
gym and
fuck. Okay, yeah,
like
cool.
adapted the role. And like because I'd always struggled with my body, I'd struggled with my weight, like I struggled back then. I had a lot of problems with like alcohol, social lubricant, all that kind of stuff. And I cleaned up my diet, stopped drinking, actually lost weight, got some abs, and I was like, oh my God, this is kind of cool. And came across like Andrea Brazier and all the like OGs, like
Yeah,
Dana Lynn, like from back in the day. And I was like, fuck, these women are sick. And so when I finished my degree, I was like, maybe I should do a show. So like
okay.
it into bodybuilding, and then I did my first prep, which was I think still to date the hardest prep I've ever done because I stupidly
They always
tried to
are.
take because you do everything wrong, so you learn from them,
Yeah, and
right?
you also,
Um,
yeah, you suffer way too much as well.
it's so, like so unnecessarily, like yeah, exactly. And if you're smart, you never do it the same way again. But it
Yeah.
hooked me. I was like, yep, I'm in. So I loved
Fuck,
it.
that's so wild that it's like I guess it's kind of to be fair, it's like acting, isn't it? Like they take on a role and they become it and things like that. But it's weird how you actually liked it. Like that's the
Yeah,
weird like that's I can't imagine an actor being like, oh, like I'm gonna don't know, train to be this German whatever Nazi soldier and be like, I really like this. Like I'm gonna take this up.
so they become.
Yeah, so that's really bizarre. What did you like
Well, that
interact? Go on.
no, you go.
So you did that for a year. What was like what was kind of going through your thoughts when you were doing it? Like what did you think it was weird? Like what were you kind of thinking? Or was you still thinking it was more of a profession? Like I'm doing this because you could see it as a job. But when did that job turn into a life-changing decision?
That's a great question. That's a really good question. I think initially it was because when you enroll, you take your role very seriously, It's like, no, I'm becoming this character. So a lot of it was like you have to be able to be this character on stage. And part of it was the aesthetic, because in the performance there was like moments of like stripping down and being in underwear. I was like, well, how can you be a male gym bro if you don't have muscle and abs? So it
Yeah.
similarly to how people start a comp because they want to achieve their dream body and it keeps them aligned. I needed a certain look for a certain role, so I had to stay on top of the habits, even though they weren't innate at that time.
Yeah.
And over time, habits become innate, right? Like after, I think it was a couple months in, I started to just notice how good I felt because I'd struggled with my mental health, I'd struggled with depression, like I had a lot of self-esteem issues, and I was like, this feels good, and just having a rhythm and a routine. So it wasn't like I woke up one day and I was like, do you know what? I suddenly love this. It was that slow changing of identity over a long course of time where I was like, well, actually, I really like who I'm becoming by doing this. Even though it's for a role, I like how it's made me feel. So then I want to kind of take it a little bit further. Um, and because there'd been a lot of self-esteem and I hated, a lot of my body and I'd seen I'd been able to change my body and then was introduced to people like Andrea Brazier, I was like, oh my God, I want to be like her. She's like a Wonder Woman. So it kind of it shifted the focus to then, well, now I could become someone I admire in a different way. And then that you kind of start to chase that for positive and negative reasons. And that's the thing. It's not always positive chasing that
Of
external
course.
validation in that way.
Of course.
But that's kind of what clicked it all into place.
Did you feel like it? Because I think I don't want to get too touchy on it because I know generally some people do generally get diagnosed with depression. They have all, but I think mental health, if we want to call it that, it just does get thrown around way too much. When you're like, okay, anxiety is normal. We need anxiety. We need stress. We need all these emotions. But did that transition into kind of the fitness industry, did it like improve your depression? Like, if that makes sense? Or like,
Yeah.
did it give you the skills to manage it more?
Yeah, and it's I love that you said that because so many people are afraid to say what you just said, but you're right. Like there's feeling how we need to feel, feeling sad, feeling down, having anxiety, having all of the typical roller coasters of being a human, and then there's actual like clinical
Clinical,
challenges
yeah,
with mental
yeah,
health, and so it is thrown around too much. And back then, it would have been you just
yeah.
feel shit. Like it wasn't a clinical depression, you know what I mean? It was just you just feel shit. And look how good you now feel because of all of the life habits you've changed. And I was back then the kind of person who didn't believe in mental health, which even
No,
though like
same,
growing up I
same. Yeah,
yeah, didn't I was just like it doesn't exist, which sounds awful, right? Depression? What is that? Like, what do you mean? What are you
yeah,
talking about? Suck it up. You'll be fine.
yeah, pretty much.
You're
Yeah,
just
pretty much.
doing this for attention. That was how I thought growing up. And I'd been surrounded by partners, family members, people with depression, suicidal, and all that sort of stuff. But even surrounded by it, I was like, what is this? This isn't real. It wasn't until much later and when I was a lot older, I went through other challenges where I was like, oh fuck, yeah, okay, I get it now, and actually experienced it myself and had to go through therapy and go through that process. I was like, so it does exist.
Yeah,
So it's yeah, it's nuanced, it's interesting.
yeah. It's a very like because I just get it gets thrown around way too much. Like it's personally
It
now,
does.
like it does. Like it's the same being like if someone has OCD and someone has I don't know like autism and things like that, and then I look at everyone I fucking know. I'm like, we're all fucked. We're all
Yeah,
autistic. We all have this weird shit going on. But then you're like, well, that's the thing that allows us to be quote unquote successful because
yeah,
it's like. It's only an issue until you're good at something. It's the same thing. It's like I always say that use like people at their profession. Like if you take acting, for example, like people take on a role and they become that. They're obsessed with that human. Like to where they study them. You're like, well, that's fucking stalking. That's fucking like that's obsession and things like that. But you're like, but you're so successful at it. And the same with like
yeah,
if you take a sport, be like, I don't know, you could take like Michael Phelps, swimming 70 hours a week. And you're like, oh,
yeah,
that's you're burning out. That's not like you're burnout, you're tired. Like it's cock of shit. Like it's such a cock of shit. And
yeah,
I think people just use these labels now to like define why they shouldn't work hard and why they shouldn't. And again, like I don't think society helps with that. Being like, oh, you are depressed because you've done a test and it says your two numbers this and you should have answered it like this. And you're like, bro, have you talked to anyone in the fitness industry? Like I literally look at my nose and I think it's got too much body fat. So like
I know
it's
the fitness industry is beautiful and fucked.
yeah. How have you
Yeah.
found the transition with like your let's call it your state of mind into fitness because I know it how because probably you're very much the same. I only talk to people that I like. Do you know what I mean? So like you're
Yeah.
probably you coach the same sort of way. Like you're a psychologist before you're a coach, right? So how has it affected you? How has body because you come from a background where you have had depression, you've had these mental kind of again mental health kind of struggles. So how has bodybuilding made it better or worse, or is it different triggers?
It's so funny. I'd say throughout the journey, it's just the initial bodybuilding, changing of habits and changing the lifestyle, eating better, training, developing those consistencies, just led to a general better, just more better sense of self, feeling
For
good,
sure.
the typical things that you expect, right?
Yeah.
But then, like, going deeper into it, I joke, but it is actually, funnily enough, true. Like, bodybuilding saved my life. Not in a
No, it's
stupid
true.
cliche, like,
No, it's true. Yeah, I
it
get
saved my
it.
life. Like, but like when I was going through darker patches and did experience going through like suicidal ideation and being suicidal, one of the only things that like kind of kept me
Yeah,
going
wow.
was the discipline in bodybuilding. It was like, no, no, just get up and do the things. I know you want to do this thing, but you got shit to do today. So keep going. And I had girls competing and it was like comp season. So I was, and look, I've got a terribly dark sense of humor. So I do apologize like
You're
in
good.
advance, but like I am awful. But like I'd wake up and I'd be like, okay, like I know you'd love to commit the eternal yeet today, but like you've got to go on stage next week. So like get her through it. You can do that later. Get her through it. You can do that later. And it's
Yeah.
ironically the discipline bodybuilding kind of got me through because it's like bodybuilding. You're going through a tough day. It's like, suck it up, princess. Keep going. Like let's
Yeah.
just keep going, even though those things are there. You just shove them to the back and keep going. If I hadn't had the decade of discipline learnt in bodybuilding before that,
Yeah.
I don't know what would have happened. The bodybuilding kind of like having the disciplines of being able to go, this feels uncomfortable. I don't like how I'm feeling right now, but you know what? You just keep going and get shit done.
Yeah.
It it
100%.
it really does shift mindsets, I think. And I don't know if that's something that every human can adapt. I like to think so, because I think the mind kind of really does dictate a lot of how people behave. You are
Oh,
in control of your emotions. You are
for sure.
once you become an observer of them. So how you reframe things really changes it. And bodybuilding can teach that, and just having those skills can teach that because you learn how to get through hard shit.
Yeah. I think that's like number one, thank you for obviously sharing that. Like it's obviously it takes a lot even just to say it out loud, I think is the biggest thing. But like and many women and guys that people that watch this can I think we can all relate. We all feel low at times. I don't want to say depressed because I can't sit here and say I've been depressed, but I felt pretty shit. Again, that's just part of life. Like you feel shit. But no, I 100% agree with you. Like, I don't know what it is. It's just this is why like I always recommend people to do hard shit. Like just get in shape once. Like get in phenomenal shape once because it gives you so many skills and so many traits that you just can't lose. And it's that same thing.
Yeah.
Like you kind of know when you're going through hard shit, you're like it always works out. Like life
Yeah.
keeps lifing and you come out the tunnel and there'll be another tunnel and then it'll get darker and then this one gets lighter and like that's the nice thing with like I think with especially with bodybuilding, like when you live a bodybuilding lifestyle, you just realize there's this set thing that just keeps you fucking sane the whole time, whether that's the routine, whether that's the training, whether that's whatever it is. And it does quote unquote gives you something to live for. Because I think there's this obviously conversation that I have with quite a few people in Dubai. It's like obviously like AI, right? So what happens when AI takes people's jobs? And what happens when AI does all this different thing, right? Humans then are left with no purpose.
Mm.
And that's the worst thing ever. Like, even if you just push trolleys at a supermarket, you wake up, you have to be somewhere at a certain time to start your job, to push trolleys, whatever it is. So when that gets taken away, when a human has no purpose, what happens to that human? And that's kind of the thing with bodybuilding. Like every day you wake up, we know we're not going to get a result tomorrow or next week, but we just know long term it's the right thing to fucking do. I know I'm a bit rambling here, but does that make kind of
No, no, it's I think it's such an important conversation piece, and it's something that people do miss a lot. Is like when we think about general human health, like you'd probably be familiar Maslow's hierarchy, right? You think like
mm,
security, safety, connection, da da da, but what's at the top of that pyramid? Self-actualization, having purpose. humans need it. And the more and more the way like society is changing with AI and how simplistic things are, it's just like people don't even need to have a purpose anymore. Everything's at their doorstep, at the snap of their fingers. So it's just like, why have purpose? But we fucking need it. That's why so many people feel unfulfilled, and that's why we now have this narrative of depression and anxiety, and everyone's got an issue. Everyone needs something, so they stick a label on themselves and adapt themselves to that label. And it's like, well, here's my purpose. I'm depressed. Which sounds
Yeah.
awful, but like,
No,
there's
but it's
nothing
true.
better to do.
Yeah. But it's
We do need it.
and that's the thing as well, because people then label themselves as that. Like I did it for ages. Like I did it because of like um I'm terribly dyslexic. So I'm like, oh, like I use that as like I really struggle to read and write. That's why I can't, because I'm dyslexic, whatever it is. And you get to the point being like you kind of just get to the point where you just own it, or vice versa. Like if you're an anxious person, you're just like, well, I'm an anxious person. That's just part of me. Like if you just own your kind of shit to an extent and you stop being that victim to your label that you put on yourself, life gets a lot lighter for sure.
Yeah.
And if you just don't take it so seriously, sometimes like life, people take life way too fucking seriously.
Yeah.
Like, if you look around being like, are you depressed? Like, depression's a big word. It's a bit like hate, or I hate that. You're like, okay, big words, guys. Are you depressed
Mm,
or are you just having a shit day, a shit week? Washing machine breaks, family members are in hospital because they got fucking tripped over and they broke their leg, whatever it is. Like, you're not depressed. It's just part of life. Like,
yeah.
grow the fuck up. Like, don't be the
Yeah.
victim type of thing. Sometimes I struggle when someone says like they're like you say, like, oh, struggling with mental health. I'm like, you're not. Like the difference is nowadays, you're fucking not. Like, because as soon as they start talking, you know you've got nothing to moan about. Like if you literally have a phone and you're in a cozy house, you're not depressed. You're not homeless. You're not struggling. Like what we think is struggling, like is not struggling. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So I
Perspective
think
is
perspective.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Okay,
Mm.
let's take back. How long have you been bodybuilding now? I will count that
I
first year when you turn bro as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Oh God, if we count that, then that was 2013. So
Oh
where
fuck.
me
Okay.
and my friends, I do math. 13 years or so.
Yeah.
Long
Okay.
time.
Sure.
Yeah,
And then
very long time.
when did you? Okay. So what was the transition? So you were doing it for a role, and then you started. Did you then you started doing personal training? Where did you go from there?
So that was when I was finishing my degree. So I went into teaching. So I spent the first few years I was competing as a hobby whilst teaching.
Okay. Cool.
So that was kind of the first year, 3, 4 years. And then I competed with a few federations, slowly worked my way up to it was WBFF was back then the big one that I was focusing
Yeah.
on. The year that I got my pro card in that federation was the year I stopped teaching because I'd started to build a bit of a social media kind of presence and things like that as you do. And I got into a bit of conflict with the school I was working with because they were like, you can't have a public profile and be putting pictures of yourself in a bikini as a teacher.
Yeah.
There was that whole kind of narrative. Ironically, that because I worked at a gifted and talented school back in Sydney, and so like the expectations for the students at the school were so high, and it was very, you know, highbrow, I suppose you'd say. But the parents loved it. Like I had parent teacher interviews saying like, we love that our student or our daughter or son, I should say, has a teacher who does something with discipline, who has consistency, who does something that's difficult. It's good for them to see it. So the parents loved it. Whereas the school was like, the parents are going to kick up a fuss. It's like, well, they're not
Yeah.
actually, you guys. So I was like, that was another thing that pushed me away. I was like, don't like the systems, don't like putting students in boxes. You're stopping me from doing what I want to do in my like free time. I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
out. Like, I'm gone.
Yeah.
So that pushed me to want to coach. I was like, do you know what? Like, I like teaching, I like guiding,
Why
why
you
not do that with
do it?
women, and coach? So yeah, I started kind of working with a company, got my certification, started as a PT, as many people do, working with that company in Sydney, and then um, I think I was with them for 3 years or so, and then when COVID
Yeah.
hit, everything went online, and so
Cool.
that was kind of the push to be like, well, start your own online business.
Yeah. Sick. Okay. Cool. And then when did you turn? So you turned pro with WBFF.
Yeah, so that would have been
Yeah.
2018. 2018 with WBFF. Stayed with
Yeah.
them until 2022. 2023. So competed
Yeah,
in
it's
Oz
only
on.
recent, isn't it, since they've kind of done the switch. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it was that it was kind of that year where everything started to switch. Well, that was when I gave up my pro card with WBFF and decided to shift over to IFBB, no PC.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay, cool. Because that was, could you, if you get this right, when you were WF, could you just convert it to FMG? Is that right? Could you just,
Correct. Anyone that was a pro
yeah,
with W at the time, they could choose to just convert that pro status over to FMG and then continue on
that's
from
right.
there.
Okay, cool. What made you go from that to IFBB? Because they're very different on the grand scheme of things. What made you do that transition?
Well, I'd actually made that decision before, so there was kind of an announcement made that you could
Ah, flip it, yeah.
change. I'd made the decision before that, because of just look everything that had happened. There was
Yeah,
chaos with
drama, in
WWF. It
other
was
words.
drama, and I was like, I don't want my name tied to that. Like, I don't want to represent a brand that's done all this. Like, I was like, this isn't right. So I'm giving that up. Like, so I chose to give that up, and I was like, well, I very much fell in love with competing, like, yes, in a role, but I liked the athlete. And that was the identity I adopted for that length of time. So the new mask that got put on, the new role was athlete. And IFBB's far more of that kind of like athlete mentality. I think the last
True.
few years of my time with WBFF, I lost a little bit of what I'd started it for, because obviously there's the glitz and the glamour and the pageantry. And I got too caught up chasing that I lost the thing that I liked, which was I like the discipline, I like the hard work, I like being an athlete.
Yeah.
And so, conversations that occurred with, my coach, James, who was
Yeah.
working with me then, like we were like, well, there's a show in, I think it was like 4 or 5 weeks. And I'd just come off of competing at Worlds in WBFF. So I was like 4 or 5 weeks into I think I was about maybe 6 weeks into my recovery, and we had
Yeah.
like that. So come up, and then it was like we've got like yeah 4 or 5 weeks until an IFBB show. So should we just do this? And we were
Yeah,
like,
sick.
let's go, fuck it, let's go back down and in. So that was tough. It was a really
Yeah.
really tough prep. I think we had to get like 4 or 5 kilos off in that time, and like we'd just come off of obviously like a lengthy prep. Like my body was not happy, but we were like, let's do it, and I loved it. Like I just did the state show, and I was like, yeah, this feels really good. So continued on to nationals, and then I was like, yeah, this is the new direction. So
What year was that? So that
yeah,
was 20, 23,
23.
24. Okay.
That was 23. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because then we took a good break to go and build because I had to put a lot of just a lot of density on. That's the big thing. I just had to go put on. Even though I've been competing for a long time, I'd been competing. The only year I had off was COVID. So I'd done like 20
Yeah.
shows, and so I had never really actually done it right.
It's
Takes a
really
fucking time to build.
it's really typical for women as well.
Oh
Like
yeah,
back to back years. Like just boom,
yeah.
boom, boom. By the time you realize you're like, oh, like I had a growing phase, but it was 4 months. You're like, yeah. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like the reality
yeah,
is of like how much, this like how much tissue can you actually build in 4 months? Like
nada.
fuck all. Yeah.
Very little.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Especially as well, like, like more so like if you're natural, you're like I don't know, like a hair
and that
length.
was it. Mhm. Yep, you
Yeah.
don't get very far.
No, not at all. Not at all. Okay, that's sick. And then how long have you now been doing? Because the first time I saw you was on stage last. Where are we now? Last year? No, this year.
Was
Yeah,
this year,
this year.
season?
This year.
Yep, season A. So yeah, it was almost 3 years off
Oh wow.
to
Okay, so you went
rise
for it.
on and
Cool.
23 came back. Yeah, it was season A of this year, and we did the Aussie shows.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sick.
So how long ago? Where are we? April, May, a couple
Yeah,
months ago
April,
now.
May. Yeah. How did that go
Yeah.
actually? Because I actually, you're kind of there, but you didn't pay attention. How was it? Like,
Yeah,
how was the prep and how was things like that? What did I guess 3 years out's a long time, especially when you're back to back years. How did it feel going back?
weird, which I think is normal. I think it's that whole you've kind of got to get your head. Sounds weird to say back in the game, but it never switches off. It's like, I'm very much a believer in we don't have an off season, we have a progress season. So the whole
Yeah.
time was progression. But because it had been so long off, like it was kind of almost, it didn't feel real for a lot of that
Hmm.
prep. It's like I've always kind of just ticked the boxes and joke I am a prep robot, and I had been for what, 12 years. So prep doesn't feel different to me. It's
Yeah.
just you up the dial a bit. And then when you're
Yeah.
not in and you drop the dial. So like that didn't change. It just didn't feel like I was competing. Like I'd just gotten so used to not that it didn't really click until we got closer to the time. I was like, oh, yeah, you're competing. And like you do the things, you do the posing, you do the training, but it's just like it didn't feel real. So that was really weird. So it did mess
Yeah.
with my head a bit. Oh shit, I have to kind of yeah, wrap my head around this again. And look, I didn't really realize it at the time throughout the prep because I kind of do go into prep robot mode and just get shit done. But during that prep, I was going through like the end of a engagement, like a 5, 6 year
Oh
relationship.
wow. Jesus.
Lost,
Yeah, okay.
lost the house, lost the car, lost the cats, lost like literally had to start my life all over again. And I didn't think twice about it at the time. I was like, yep, cool. We soldier
Mm,
on. But in retrospect, it's like that made prep pretty tough. Like
yeah.
it was hard emotionally. Kind of like I think there was a lot of things going on behind the scenes that I wasn't really dealing with at the time. It was just like I'm doing the prep things, but like there's all this like shit that's messing with the nervous system behind the scenes that
Yeah,
created a
for
lot of
sure.
stress. So like I was stoked with the package that we brought and the size we put on in that time was great. Like we packed on a decent amount of size in that time.
Yeah.
And we won novice in states. Um, and then nationals came, I think it was second in novice, and then I think it ended up being like fourth or fifth in opens. So I was like, look, it's not
Sick.
a bad result, but I'm also very much like I want my pro card again to get back to the pro stage, you know. So I'm like, all right,
Yeah, nice.
we need to get to that next level. Um, so like the prep was good, and like I think from like a prep perspective, probably one of the best ones we've ever done in that sense felt easy. But then when I look at it from like that emotional and life side, I was like, that was probably actually the hardest prep I've ever done. So it's a funny kind of
Yeah, I know what you
contradiction.
mean. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
always
yeah,
that it's a weird one, isn't it? Because it's like again, it's that robot mentality. Like it's only when you sit back now and you reflect on it. But it's again like shoulda, coulda, woulda, right? Like would you have changed anything? Like not really. Like you deal with it and you I think sometimes again it's that typical thing that keeps you sane. Like if you weren't in
yeah,
that prep, would you have been more emotionally driven? Would you have struggled a bit more mentally and things like that? But the fact that you're like, oh cool, like regardless of not this is happening, so I've just got to train and eat still. Like, do you know what I mean? It's
yeah.
I
Just
know,
get it
yeah,
done.
yeah. I just think it's one of those ones where like I've done it before, where it's like actually it's like the best decision I've made to like do
Yeah,
it. When I probably on realistic, if you was that if a client said, oh, like should I do it whilst I'm going through this? You're like, no, but then I kind of think yeah at the same time. And I'm like, yeah, do it because it'll get you through this time and it'll give you a focus point and it'll give you an anchor sort of thing. Because I had it with a
yeah,
client that was going through, actually three now, but they were going through the same thing. They were going through a divorce, and it was like we planned to do a photo shoot before, and then I obviously didn't know under behind the scenes like a divorce was kind of happening, and then it came out at the beginning of this, and I was like, just go. Honestly, like it's your call, but like if you stick with it, I think it's what you need right now. It's kind of the same sort of
yeah.
thing.
100%. Like I also had a client going through, ironically, a similar thing who was also on the same prep journey as me and prepping to the same show. So I was like, we'll
Oh,
do this
okay.
together.
Yeah, that's
But
cool.
like the caveat was like, this becomes structure, not dissociation. So it's like, we're not going to use
Yes.
this to dissociate from our issues. We're going to use it for structure, but then you still need to be doing the personal work behind the scenes as well. Otherwise, it's like you're going to
It's
have
a
to pay the check of that when you
Yeah,
finish your prep.
it's a band-aid over the wound, isn't it? Kind of thing. Like, I think the difference then is it's oh, it always comes back to it, but it's experience because you've done competed for 12, 13 years beforehand. The prep aspect isn't new, so then you're
Yeah.
like, okay, and you're older, you're more emotionally switched on. You're not fucking 25 years old again. Do you know what I mean? So like, yeah, like this shit's hard, but it's you've got the experience and things like that. So like it's part of you kind of just accept it's this next chapter of my life. I've got the skills, I can do both, I can manage it, sort of thing. Like the first, like you said, when we said like the first preps, you're like, it's literally just everything is just this. It's every gram, it's every second. It's like, and then now you're like, oh, it's pretty easy. Like I don't really weigh my vegetables. I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm just gonna have some almond milk. Like,
And past you would be horrified, you know?
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, 100%. I even did that because like this prep, I've never done like cheat meals. So now I have a cheat meal. And like in the past, I'm like, I can't fucking do that. Like, and then you're just like doing push-ups all night and crunches and like try and
Yeah,
sweat it out the next day. And now you're like, nah, I'm just gonna sit here and lie on the floor and just eat a bit more.
because you know your body, you know what you can do, you know your body, like you're like, no, it's actually fine. Like, yeah.
Yeah, that's wild, man. No, good on you. Good on you. That's it's never sitting here and listening to it. It doesn't, but I understand it. Like it's not an
Yeah.
easy thing to do, but I know that because we've been there, right? We've been through this life experiences. So no, that's good. That's fucking sick. What's the plan now for you then? So you're just going growing phase. What's the mission?
Yeah, look, I've got to build same thing. So I'm like, I just need to put some more muscle on. So I'll probably take another couple years um to really build. Something I think I'm mentally trying to come to terms with is I could be in masters when I go back. And like I'm like to me, I'm like, ah fuck, shit, you're that old. Like it's not old, but I'm like,
It's
okay, so maybe that's the new direction. Who knows? Like, aim for that when I come back in a couple of years and get some size on. And
it's
yeah, but like I
so
still
yeah. It's a kind of bullshit though, isn't it? Like 35 is not masters. Like in like
yeah,
my last sport, masters was 40 or 45. Like it was old. Like old.
it should be 40, 45 plus. You're not 35. I'm like, oh, I'm still a fucking kid.
Yeah,
Come
but then
on,
the thing
mate.
is, yeah, no, I think that's a it's a bad rule because actually when you look at the people at the top, like to be honest, at the top of any sport, unless it's like NFL or like maybe contact sports, they're a little bit younger. But like
Yeah.
anything, like you probably know, like your dad playing football, you're like, dude, some of these people are like fucking like late 30s and they're the best in the world.
Yeah.
Like LeBron James is
Yeah.
like 41, and he's the best NBA player in the world. Do you know what I mean? So it's a bit like, and even when you look at bodybuilders, like most of them, you don't hit your peak to like 2 decades in.
Yes. Yeah, you need
First
the
five,
time.
ten
You
years
need
is kind of
the
thing, and
time.
then you spend a decade being like good at it, and then you're like most of them like 38 to early 40s. So you're like,
Right?
yeah, it's a bit of, especially now when we do things so smart. Like there's like we get our bloods test, we get this, and then now you got all the fucking millions of like even if you tear a muscle, it's all good. Just run TB 500 and just you'll be fixed in 2 weeks. Do you know what I mean? Like you get fixed
Yeah.
up in two
Yeah.
weeks. So it's like
Yeah.
yeah, the amount of science now and the amount of resources that we have our ability, like it's a bit bullshit. Yeah, yeah,
It's funny. It's such a funny one. And it just shows like the stupid impact of a label, it just means absolutely nothing in the grand scheme of things. Like really at the end of the day. But yeah, so that's the goal is still, pro card and get to the pro stage. Like I'd love to get to the like most people like get to the Olympia. Like if I do something, I want to get to the highest level. And that's always been the goal. If I'm going to do it, I want to
nice.
get to the highest level. So
Yeah,
it's just
sick.
it's just time. And I'm okay with that. I'm like, okay, because look, I did a big lesson, and probably the biggest lesson I took away over the last like decade plus is not to lose the rest of life because of competing. Because I put too much, and you absolutely can put too much into competing,
Yeah,
and you can lose it. And I know I've done it twice now. You can lose everything like that. And then you realize like shit, you can't lose yourself in one thing. You still have to have a whole and full life. So I'm like, I've got my business that I'm building. I've got projects behind the scenes, like, friendships, relationships, all that sort of stuff as well. So it's like I've got time. I don't need to rush back onto stage
yeah,
next year.
100%.
Like build the rest of things as well as building the mind and body to get back on. So that's kind of like, yeah.
It's also because you've done the extremes like we all have. Like when I think that's the benefit of kind of doing competing maybe in like your early 20s, your 20s sort of thing is because you do the all in and you kill relationships, like you kill everything from friendships, relationships, you people fucking hate you because when you're at those first few
Yeah.
preps, you're just like a miserable fucking bell end and no one invites you to anything. Do you know what I mean? But now you're like, well, as long as I got my meals with me, like I'll come or whatever it is. And I think the difference is with bodybuilding, it's like I came from a different sport where like there's on seasons and off seasons, and most sports are like that. So it's like, and again, like if we want to call bodybuilding a sport, whatever the fuck you want to call it, I don't care. But this is the only thing where it is 24/7 because it is your
Yeah.
meals, like it is literally everything 24/7. Like again, like you do football and they have preseason because they don't do shit for 2 months. They're like, I'm actually taking 2 months off. I'm not doing anything. And most sports are like that. It's just the only one where it's like if you eat shit for a week, it will reflect fast.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
it's mentally hard for people to grasp that quote unquote balance, but you can't have it. Like this is why I fucking hate the word balance. I'm like, you've been doing this a year, you can't have balance. Like
Yes.
you
Yes.
haven't earned the right. Like tell me when you've done two preps, you've done 5 years deep of like literally every gram of food being monitored, then you can have
Yep.
balance in 5 years' time.
100%. You got to earn that. You got to
Yeah.
earn that. Yeah, I believe that wholeheartedly. And that shit takes time because you got to do the learning.
But
Yeah.
only because like probably we started as well when like coaches didn't teach you this. They just it was dictated it. So like you used to get an email, this is what you eat for the week. You check in and this is what you do for the week. Like now we're like fucking hell, like if someone works with you or vice versa works with me, you're like in the space of like 6 months, they're like they can have balance. Because like you
Yeah.
teach it. So it's just
Yeah.
like for us, we've done all the shit. Like you get to skip a decade. Like literally a
Yeah.
decade.
And it is about that timeline. That's right. You can take what
Yeah.
took a decade of downs, falling down all the holes, making all the mistakes, coming back out of them, and you take that and give it to the clients. It's almost like the old man like screaming, get off my lawn kind of thing,
Yeah.
and just like back in my day, this is what I learned. Like all us old school bodybuilders are just like, you have no idea how easy you have it these days because of what you learn, like what we had to suffer through.
Yeah, 100%. And this is when I get like the same with like, you can go into the thing of like whether you want to talk about like when people do GLP-1s or whatever it is and peptides and stuff like that. It's the same sort of thing because you're like same with like Retta. You're like, so what, you don't have to be hungry in a prep? You fucking
You don't
mad?
have to learn how.
Yeah, I'm like I've never tried anything like that, but like, do you know what I mean? There's just like the whole point of it is to like you said, to be disciplined, to be hungry,
Yes.
to have these feelings, to like if you don't feel that, like what the fuck is this for? Like you're not learning
Well,
any emotion. You're not learning how to manage like again like the typical things. You're not managing the hard stuff, and which is the character building aspect. So then I always go, then don't expect a result because you haven't built the character to be good at it or to be a champion or to do well at it. Because like it's all well and good having the ingredients, but like if you can't put it all together from a mental aspect, like it's not gonna happen.
no, I teach this to my clients and my girls all the time. They're common conversations. It's like if you want to be a champion, you want to be a pro, you want to be someone at that top level, look, they're leaders, they're role models at the end of the day. And it's like you've got to be the person with the capacity to be that role model, to lead. Like you have to earn that. You can't just hold the card up and haven't done the shit to hold the card up. And then all these younger people, the next generations are looking up to you, and you're like, I actually don't really know how to be this person. It's a facade.
Yeah.
So
Also the reality of it, right? Like, because I was a professional in a previous sport and you just realize like the caliber is just completely different. And especially in something that genetics, the reality of it.
and
Like,
that doesn't play.
like
Yeah,
as much as you want
especially in
to
bodybuilding.
yeah, as much as you want to think about it or not, like it's the same with to be honest, any sport. Like if when you look at the top 1%, you got to understand that you're not that. You're not. And it's the same. It's like I really like say for example, I really like Formula One and NBA. But like Formula One, there's 20 fucking drivers that do that in the whole entire world because they were lucky, they have rich parents, they had all these things, they're good at what they do, X, Y, and Z, right? So they're literally just like the the luckiest fucking human beings to be in that position and genetically gifted, whatever it is. NBA, I'm like, you got to be fucking 6'5" and be able to like, do you know what I mean? Like, find me the percentage of how many people are 6'5" in the world. Like straight
Yeah.
away, you're in 5% of the world that are. And then with bodybuilding, it's the same sort of thing. Like you got to
Yeah.
understand that like you could look at it from like probably same for you, like because we're white and small, like building muscles just like fucking hell, we have to slug at it. But then
Yeah.
if you're black, you just look at weight and you just go boom. And you're like, what the
Yeah.
fuck is this? Like you got to understand that there's levels to this. And no matter even if you work hard, I'm like, doesn't matter, man. Does not matter. Yeah, it's just the
Unfortunately,
reality check. It's just the reality check, I think, because you like, same thing.
yeah.
Yeah, if you work with a lot of girls that want to get on stage, they want the expectations are mad. When we competed for the first 10 years, I'm like, I just want to look good. I just want to look the
Yes.
part and look good. And you're getting on stage for the first time and think you're going to make it to like an open qualifier and win your pro card. You're fucking
Yeah.
mad.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I know. I almost get I try not to let emotion come into it, but I almost get grumpy when I have to have those conversations where
I
they're like
hate it,
first
man. I hate it.
competitor and they're like, I want to go pro. I'm like, you haven't earned that. Like, and I'm
Also,
just like,
it's kind of a spit on you as well. Like sometimes I think some of the I'm like,
yes,
do you understand? Like I've been trying for ages. Like,
yeah,
and I know you don't. Horrible it is, I know you don't work as hard as me. I know you're not consistent as me. I know you're not obsessed with the shit. So if you can't, then if you think you can, like, do you know what I mean?
yeah.
If
That's the
it's
catch I say.
just,
I'm like, look, I've been doing this for a decade
yeah,
plus. Not there yet. So you're telling me you want to do this in 6 months? Are you
yeah,
fucking kidding? Like, yeah,
yeah.
100.
That's mad. That's mad. What does it kind of like? What does your days look like? Because everyone's always intrigued with this. What do your kind of days look like? What training wise? Like how many times a week do you train? Like food?
Yeah,
Like what's the setup for you in a day in the life at the moment?
it's still kind of same, really. It doesn't matter where I am because I have been on the go. Like I've been in this is like, I don't know, like the 12th or 13th different spot in the last few months. Like I've just been all over the place. But like you just do the same thing. So like I tend to prefer like later morning kind of for a training session. So I'll like get up and I've got my no devices, journaling and coffee walk routine. So it's like get up and you have your you time, your meditation, your time with yourself, do some journaling, like just that's kind of
Yeah.
like the non-negotiable. And then like it just kind of like it's a bit of calm before the chaos of
Yeah,
the
for
day
sure.
because I very much am someone who yeah, nervous system that's drawn to chaos. So it's the only chance to try and have some fucking peace.
That's probably
And
why you get
then
along with James well, to be honest.
chaos.
Yeah, man.
The running joke is pretty much
Yeah.
that, yeah, it's constantly chasing chaos. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
we know. Like if he's like do a 4 week prep, I'll be like, fuck yeah, let's go.
Yeah, yeah.
Terrible. It's terrible. Yeah, so that's kind of like the non-negotiable. And then client admin, crack into things like check-ins or whatever it is. Like I try and do the um bigger brain stuff first in the morning for me, get
Yeah.
that done, and then have a bit of a break to go train. So it's like go hit the session, like yeah, late morning, early arvo, and then come back and it's more of like what I'd say like creative tasks for work, whatever that might be. And business owners, it might be social media stuff, or like I'm doing a lot of like blog writing and all those types of things at the moment, like podcasting, recording, things like that. Like all that stuff is back end of day. Food is I think I've eaten the same kind of things. Like I can't even tell you how many years. Like it's the
Yeah.
same kind of meals. It doesn't change. It's just, wake up. I tend to be a terribly coffee first thing and don't have a
Oh,
meal for the first
always.
hour. Fucking coffee's
I
great.
do
So
that
that's what
now.
I
Like
need.
it's half 10. I haven't even had a meal yet, so you're fine. Like,
Everybody's fine. Like, I don't care all the signs out there about the cortisol shit. I'm like, look, there's far worse things for my nervous system than a coffee in the
it's
morning, you know?
also
Like,
like then I go like, well, coffee makes me feel really good. So how does it fuck my cortisol? Don't really understand that.
mine don't, mine don't
Yeah.
matter. It makes me feel, so I'll handle anything else.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm already 4 coffees deep, so I don't give a fuck. I feel great. So
Yeah, yeah, good. Yeah, literally, it's a good couple in the morning, and then come home and have yeah, it's like the oats, chia seed, kind of like
yeah.
blueberry mix. Doesn't change. Pre-workout, like it's simple usually. It's like rice cakes, banana, honey, some dates, like that meal, and then I've got my typical salad,
Chicken,
rice, and chicken.
rice.
Yeah, chicken and rice in different
It does
variations.
it
Tuna.
does really
Fish.
annoy me. Like it does really annoy me when you like you're probably the same, like, oh, can I have some food inspiration? And you're like, I don't know any other food, man. I know 6 meals and they rotate.
Like pretty much like the only thing that changes for me is like when I'm in my progress season, like I'll have I might treat myself to like a cook day where I'll make something like a seafood chowder or a chili and like bake up something, and like on a Sunday it's like, oh, I'm gonna have
Yeah,
like a
that's
nice
pretty
home
good.
cooked meal. It's like, but I don't do that all too often. I try because I'm like, oh, it'd be good to
Yeah.
cook, but
It's also just
so
effort.
I'm happy with my chicken and rice and leaves. Like I always end up going back to
Yeah.
it. So, it's yeah, I had a bit of a stint of doing some cooking whilst I was on the go, my Sunday thing, and it lasted maybe a month or two, and now I'm back on the chicken, leaves, and rice. Like
Yeah,
good old
sick.
faithful,
How many
pretty
meals a day
much.
do you
So
do? Do you
I
do
do four. No, I do
yeah.
four. So the three main meals and kind of like the pre-workout. But I kind of combine like I guess you'd say like a sweet treat with the dinner, which is like a cup of
I do
tea
the
or
same.
like some
Yeah, I do the
fruit or
same,
blueberry,
yeah.
some maybe some mochis, but it's kind of like the last meal. So
Yeah, yeah, I do exactly the
Yeah.
same. Yeah. Yeah, I can't fathom like I don't know how people do 5, 6 meals a day. I can't
Nah,
fathom.
I used to, but nah, I can't do it anymore.
Nah, as long as I like to be honest, even on rest days I do three. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just do because I don't really like eating in the mornings. So like
yeah, yeah, same.
rest days, my first meal will be like midday. And I'll do like
Yeah,
midday 4, 7, something like that.
yeah,
Super easy.
yeah.
Yeah. I think there's like
I
it's just whatever works for you.
Well, look, everyone's different, but like I'd argue like I mean, the old 5, 6 meals is the bro science from back in the day. Like, that was the way to do it.
Unless like the thing is it's different. If you're like a professional athlete, you're like, cool, like that's
Oh,
your full-time job. Cool. But like for us, like if I eat in the morning, like my cognitive function goes. So then I'm like when I'm most productive in the morning, I can't work. And then I also look forward to the carbs, like you say, like 10, 11, where I can sit, chill for an hour because I've done morning, I've done everything. I get to sit, chill, eat my meal. Like it's just not, it's not, and also you're not relatable. Like if you're like I eat 5 meals a day, like no one, who the fuck eats 5 meals a day? Like even now, like you don't see
yeah.
competitors really doing it, or like the fives max. Not many people do six, even.
Not
It used
anymore.
to,
Not
yeah, it used
anymore.
to be a six thing. Now it's more like that 5, 4 sort of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Which I
no,
think is good. Yeah, yeah. The
yeah,
less is better. I mean, it's better, I would argue, better for digestion. There's more gaps between meals. Like you're not thinking about food as often, which especially for women is better. Like the more times you're in
for
the kitchen
sure.
thinking about food, like especially for competitors in a prep, like you're just like
I
leaning
think
more into that
it's,
food obsession.
yeah, I also think it's nice to just have bigger meals. Like if I had to do five or
100%.
six meal, like they fucking look terrible. Like what is it?
Yeah.
So I'm
It's not a
like,
meal.
yeah, I might as well sit and actually have a meal, like type of thing that's good. I enjoy it, sort of thing. So no, no, it's actually a good point. And then training, what do you do? 5 days?
4 days.
Four
Yeah,
days.
yeah.
Okay,
So
nice,
four
cool.
4 day work. We were on that split for ages. And it worked like that. I would say over the last 3 years when we were doing that, that was where the bulk of the muscle came on. So get
Yeah.
in, do the 4 days hard and then rest
What do you do?
the other. Yeah.
Three lower and like an upper, or like a posterior, something like that.
So the split was more so it was one dedicated upper and then the three other days were split between like kind of like lower upper.
Yeah.
But my focus, the big thing for me is I need more glute, more ham,
Yeah.
more delt
Okay.
for
Interesting.
most at the
Yeah,
same
cool.
time. Most bikini girls, like, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, your
yeah,
ass is never big enough. Moral of the story.
never, never. I mean, even if you're not a competitor, it's just great to have a dump truck.
Yeah, that's
So,
true.
like,
Yeah. It's the same. Like, even for guys, though, it's just like, what do you need more of? Everything. Like,
yeah, yeah,
you need a smaller waist than bigger everything.
yeah,
Like,
pretty much.
that's literally it. Like, yeah, it's it. Like, because mine was the same, because I came off stage in 24 and it was like, it was kind of obvious, like, looking at it because I'm just lower body dominant. So like my legs
Yeah,
are just a bit more dominant in that sense. So okay, cool. Like arms are shit, arms 3 times a week, back shit, back twice a week. Like, do you know what I mean? So it just kind of
yeah,
just increasing the volume to there. But yeah, same thing. Like I've ran the same training program for like it'll be 2 years. Do you know what I mean? Come off stage, it'll be
yeah,
2 years, just the same split.
yeah.
Yeah, just
It
tweak the
works.
exercises and that's it, yeah. And you just get a little bit. I think the biggest thing is you just get better at moving. That's the most important thing.
Right.
Like I know what like training like with James is like and stuff like that. So it's the same sort of thing. It's just like it's just how you execute it. Like you say, like 4 days a week, but you're like those 4 days are fucking everything, right? And
Yeah.
then less is more at that standpoint. So
Exactly. Well, look, I'll be honest with myself. My first probably, God, 6 or 7 years of competing, I wasn't
oh,
training right.
we train like a bag of shit. Yeah,
Right?
yeah. It's
Like, and
kind
then actually start training right. It's like, well, fuck, less is more.
yeah. I've noticed it more so now because even in my 24 prep, like I trained well then. Like I trained hard,
Mm,
but the it was the accuracy wasn't the same.
that's the one.
Like,
Yes.
and now when I go to the gym, it's like every rep, every second of that rep, there's tension, there's a purpose behind it. Like, and it's just it does all the fat loss for you. Like it literally
You-
does. It
Yeah.
does
Yeah.
everything. Because I even think now, like, I know we pushed things back a little bit this year, but it's like I did 30 minutes cardio. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
before it got up to
Yeah.
like 45, 50 an hour in previous preps. I remember like one prep was like an hour and a half. And obviously, do you know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
just so different. And as soon as you train hard, you're like, fucking hell, like this is a different ball game. And then funny enough, you look better because muscle fullness is better, you keep the shape
Yes.
better, all these different things. So yeah, it's just it's funny, isn't it? Because like the more better you get at this, the less you have to do, and the more you can get away with.
I say this all the time. Like, if you want to have balance with your food, like the more advanced the athlete is, the more they can have balance, but ironically, the less they want it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it's a mad yeah, it's mad because I like again like because I just checked in this morning and I was like because like every you kind of you find that formula like now you've done like a one or two preps with James. Have you done because you
oh, we started together in 21. So we did two, three, four,
okay, so
five,
you
six or
yeah,
so. Like
yeah,
quite a
cool.
few with WBFF and then
But
IFBB.
that's the
Yeah.
nice thing because then you're like you kind of so for example, 2 years time, you know how you fucking work. I know every prep is different, but it's also not to an extent. Like because the whole point of preps is do I psychologically know this person?
Oh,
So
massively. It's
like
so,
like
yeah.
it's everything. It's everything. So like now you can be like, okay, cool. We are 20 weeks out and it's just this. Okay, we know this worked really well. We've got data from this time. We're gonna like probably you have the same thing. Like if I was like if I start prep, I'm like ideally I want like a 15-20 week prep and I want to get most of the fat off in that first half to 3 quarters because
When you're
then the
feeling
job's done.
good.
Whilst you've got the
Yeah,
fat to kind of energy
exactly.
to get rid of it. And then from there, you're like, okay, cool. And then we know we refeed you like this, we top you up here, because like, I mean, same thing. It's like now it's just like, okay, refeed every weekend, refeed every weekend. Dig in the week, top up, dig in the week, top up. Like, it's
So
just
it's
cool
so
because
nice.
we did it
Coming,
last time.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And again, it's a psychological thing as well, because then when you're like, okay, I'm gonna fucking kill it this week, so I make sure I get a refeed.
Yeah, no, but yeah, incentivization, it works, right? Like,
Yeah, 100% my love. No, no, that's cool. That's cool. And then where do you think you'll? Yeah, because you have to do the Australia, don't you? I always get confused. I feel bad because like because I'm here, I don't
yeah,
have to do regionals.
that's great.
Yeah, I always forget
Good.
that. Yeah, I always forget
Yeah, you
that.
do. Yeah, you have to do a state show to qualify to go overseas. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So it'd be look, I actually, usually I'll always kind of have that like plan in mind of like this show at this time, but I haven't this
Nah,
time. I'm like,
it's
do you know,
too far out,
just
man.
I just need to build. Yeah, and I've look same thing. Like there's big focuses on business and in life, so I'm like, cool, get all this shit like built out whilst I'm building, and then it'll happen organically. It'll be like, okay,
Yeah, 100%.
timeline at that point rather than having the pressures of like it has to be this time, this day, like,
Yeah, it's
so it's
bullshit.
kind
Yeah.
of a different
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I've done the same. I'm very much like you. Like I set initially I was like, okay, end of August. And
Yeah.
then because we were in Australia for that May, June, so I was like, oh, like I normally start 20 weeks out. That would mean that 15 weeks out. That's going to be a really ugly prep because I'm fat and I got fat to lose. So I'm like, it's going to suck. So let's
Yeah.
start the fat loss in January. Let's get a bit off before for Australia. And even now, then I pushed it back. I was like, do you know what? Like, because it just worked out. I'm like, it worked out that Steph was going to back to Australia for some shows. So I was like, I
Yeah.
don't want to go do shows on my own. Fuck that. Like, why would I
Mm.
do that? So I'm like, okay, let's just push it back maybe 3, 4 weeks. Let's do the first show here, and then let's just do a few back to back somewhere in Europe and things like that. So yeah, super chilled. Like,
It's good.
yeah,
It's
it's
nice.
nice. It is nice. Yeah, it's nice to kind of just be like, things don't have to be set in stone. What we think they do in bodybuilding. Like, no, you can change your mind. You can change your opinion. It's okay.
100%. Exactly. And you've got your coach and you know what you're doing, you know your body, you can just adjust. It's
Yeah,
good.
100%. What are you doing with
Yeah.
your business at the moment? Is it still, are
So,
you, what's the trend? Because it seems like you're going through like, because you're moving, there's big transitions in your life. So, like, what are you doing differently?
yeah, some big life chapters. And I guess like this will be nothing's really been publicized, but I guess by the time this comes out, like no one knows I'm moving yet. So by the time this comes out, I'll probably have moved.
That's fair.
So yeah, like, um, yeah, so I've obviously always done the coaching and I always will. Like I'll always have my clients and do the comp prep coaching because that's just something I love it. I love it so much. But I guess like I'm building out more it's not just coaching anymore. Like a big kind of passion is it's more around that changing of identity, which you
Okay,
see it
cool.
in clients. They start competing, like they change who they are as people. And I guess like some of the big lessons I've taken away from the last 10 and 12 years is like competing is it's the vehicle for change. It's not the thing that change you. Like just
Yeah.
because you compete doesn't mean that you're going to change. It's the vehicle that allows people to change because they actually commit to themselves for the first time in their life. And especially for women, like bodybuilding and competing is often the first time they ever put themselves first in their life. And they actually start setting boundaries and they start
Very
saying no
true.
and they
Very true.
and so
Yeah.
it's a really good way for them to realize where they're not actually putting themselves first and actually start to, and that delves into the deeper things of like recognizing patterns and recognizing like nervous system issues. And, we could go down a fucking rabbit hole, but a lot of people who have been through shit in their past are attracted to bodybuilding for a reason. So, like, actually being able to help people on that deeper level of changing their identity whilst working towards a health and fitness goal. So, I'm building out a platform for a community, which is very
Nice.
common these days. The concept behind it, though, is like the biggest thing that stops people from actually changing is the integration and evidence gathering to change their nervous system, which most coaches
Okay,
would
I'm with
know.
you.
Like, yeah, you have to, if you want to actually change, you have to stop the nervous system from going back to their old patterns. It's like anyone that struggles to lose weight. If you
Yeah.
stop your 20-week or 8-week challenge, you'll just go back to the same habits. Why? Because you haven't actually fixed the problem. So the kind of platform helps them to actually identify what the things are that are stopping them from changing
Oh,
the
cool.
deeper issues. And in order to do that, we need to gather evidence enough to change the nervous system. And so it kind of has like almost a game, which will, appeal to a lot of people that have got those competitive drives. And it weaponizes herd mentality a little bit because no one wants to be the one person that's not showing up to like their group calls with their homework done kind of thing. So it's taking the
Yeah.
past teaching and I used to run like self-devised courses back in the high school teaching days where students ran their own class and they had to like
Okay,
assess
cool.
themselves. And they had to come up with their own assessment guidelines and things like that. It was like a experiential learning thing from Europe. And it was really fucking cool because like these kids, they were like 14 and the things they decided to assess themselves on were like grit, resilience, teamwork. And I was just
Wow.
like, you guys are on it. What can
Yeah.
you this society should run? So it's kind of taking some of those similar concepts of teaching people how to be self-sufficient in group situations
It's
to be
really,
able to gather evidence yeah.
yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because it's like, I don't know. I've got nephews and nieces, but like, it's really interesting to see that. I guess I don't even know what generation it is, but that younger generation where you're like, I actually saw a stat on like alcohol, cigarettes, and stuff like that. It's down by like, I think alcohol is down by like 700% in the last like worldwide. It was ridiculous. Like billions has been lost because like kids at 16 to 20 don't drink now. Like they're in the gym. They're like
Yeah.
it's fucking mad. Like
Yeah.
it's such a different because like 16 to 20 we were like, hey, let's just after school Friday, let's like, do you know what I mean?
Oh,
And
in a
now it's
park
like,
somewhere with like
yeah, exactly. It's just so different. But then it's weird because now we're educating like probably same for you. Like I work with people that are older than me. And it's
yeah,
like I'm educating them and be like, okay, like the like you say, like the discipline, those traits and stuff like that. Kids now are learning this at like 20 years old and they want to be more disciplined, they want to work out, and like they're learning this so young now. And the same with like opportunities in life. Like you don't have to do a 9 to 5. Like you literally can go on YouTube and you can learn how to fucking do anything. So you like you
yeah.
don't need school now. So now you're like,
No,
and the school system, like you said, is like it's just pumping out clones.
literally.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
so it's a good that's a cool route. Like you're kind of the psychological aspect of it, really, like the identity
Well, a
change and things
lot of
like
it.
and then that's kind of like the
Yeah.
70%, and then the health and fitness is kind of just the consistent
It,
byproduct that runs behind the scenes the whole time.
it's the thing that, yeah, it's very hard for a lot of people who have kind of the people that I'll tend to bring in, like they don't put themselves first, but when they've got a goal, like a comp, they will. And so it
Yeah,
becomes the thing that allows them to actually start changing themselves. And, the grander scale, like the grander scheme of that is, and, I have mothers that have children who see the more positive kind of behaviors that helps benefit the next generation. And, it goes into that
yeah,
whole like breaking generational cycle conversations and things like that. So like that's a
yeah,
big
that's cool.
passion, and that's just my own personal journey and everything that's
Yeah,
kind of gone on
nice.
behind the scenes. And then the podcast, I've got mine launching soon. I've got a book that is kind of in motion. So I want to lead and educate in a grander way. So that's kind of where things are going.
As in like a
Yeah.
written, like a book.
Yes, a book. Yeah, we're bringing back the old creative writing
Yeah,
days
that's
from
cool.
uni.
Can
Hence
you,
Melbourne.
yeah, can you give any hints on what it's about? Like, what is the book? Is it,
Look, I like to think about it like so like I'm really inspired by like authors like Robert Greene who
yeah,
quite
I know the
quite
name.
controversial. Yeah, he can be quite controversial in what he's put out into the world, but he essentially like teaches people the game that they don't know that they're playing, right? Which is the game of life and how to win
Yeah.
it. Um, how to recognize like manipulations and how to recognize power dynamics within the world, which is just innate in humans. I guess you could say what I want to the book's teaching, not so much that there is a game, but why you play the game at all. And that kind of taps more into like, yeah, like again,
Oh,
pattern recognition and like, all of those. It's everywhere. Like the hippie woo-woo people talk about it, like it's in neuroscience, like it's all over the world in
yeah.
different ways, but just trying to articulate it
Put your touch
in a
on it, I
way that,
guess.
yeah, help people to kind of be able to start to actually I want people to want to question the way they think and who they are and think about their own
Hmm.
thinking on a deep level because
I think
people
it's a really
don't.
good thing.
So,
I think it's a really good thing because like we probably sit here and we go through those moments in life where I honestly every other day I think, what the fuck am I doing? What the fuck am I doing? Like self-doubt, question, will I make it? Whatever the fuck that means. Am I good enough? Have I been a good person? Like, if you don't ask those questions, it kind of means you're not moving forward. Like, you have to ask and you have to reflect. Like, so like,
yeah,
as much as like it doesn't sound nice to have those conversations, and it's not really nice, but like you need to, like again, we always come back to literally what we said at the very beginning. Just have hard conversations with yourself. Do hard things because I wish, like, I will ask you this question soon, but like, I wish if I could, like, when people say, like, what could you tell younger you? Like, if you were 10 years ago, what
ooh,
would you
yeah,
tell younger you? And I actually thought of it the other day. I was like, you know what? I just wish I said do hard things sooner.
I love
Like,
that.
do hard conversations, do the things that you don't want to do, like admin. Like, I don't want to
Yeah,
do admin because I'm dyslexic and it confuses me, overwhelms me. Do it. Like, I don't want to talk on stories today. Do it. Like, just do the hard things that you don't want to do because it's just that comfort is just yuck. Like,
yeah,
so like, and again, it kind of comes back to the same thing, like get in great shape because it's hard as fuck. And there's a
yeah,
reason why not many people look good because it's hard as fuck. So do it. Yeah.
exactly,
So
exactly.
yeah, that's cool. That's really cool, my love. That's amazing. And how far are you through that process? Because I know, because like writing stuff like that's a long process sort of thing.
It's a big project. Look, I've been on this project for
30,
four,
30
four
odd years.
a while, like a while. Yeah, well, 30. A
Yeah.
long time. But pen to paper, like, yeah, the last maybe 3 or 4 months. Like, I've got to finish the first draft and then
Yeah.
I'll tear it apart because it'll be shit. And then I'll probably do that another 2 or 3 times and then actually start trying to do more with it. So the podcast and the direction that the course is going, all that kind of stuff ties into it because
Mm.
it's having the conversations and my clients, my beautiful, amazing clients become case studies to what goes in the book and
Yeah.
the conversations we have. So it all kind of ties into the
And it'll help
grander
you
scheme
write
direct.
it. Yeah, exactly. Like all the conversations you have with the podcast, with the clients and things like that, everything, all your life experiences and just talking it out, like the audio version of it on podcast is kind of literally going to be written somehow into
Yeah,
50, 60, 100 pages. Do you know what I mean? Yeah,
exactly,
that's
exactly.
sick, my love. No, that's so
Yeah.
cool. Good on you. Good on you. So it's nice that it's different, man. When people are like, I hate, I hate having this conversation. So when I was like, oh, like, what are you doing? And like, oh yeah, I'm just doing a rebrand. You're like, fuck off. That's not a thing. Like,
It's
it's
not a
gay.
thing.
It's gay.
Like, what are you
Fuck off.
actually doing? How are
Yeah.
you serving the greater fucking
Yeah.
anything outside of your own ego?
Yeah. Yeah. Literally. Yeah. I'm just making my logo look cooler. Fuck off. Fuck off. Um, cool, my love. I guess as it's the 1% podcast, I don't take up too much of your evening as well. What is that one thing that you can tell the listener that they can implement going into tomorrow?
The one thing to take into tomorrow. I mean, there's so many. Mm. The big one for me for people is to ask yourself why and then ask it 7 more times. So we're not operating from this place of just because, just because, just
Mm,
because that's how it's done. What are you doing tomorrow? Why? Why are you actually doing it? Ask yourself that on a deeper level. Figure out what you're doing. So you know why you're doing it. And that's going to help you, ironically, probably find a bit more purpose and direction, which is going to serve that little
yeah,
self-actualization piece. It probably make you happier.
yeah.
So
That's pretty cool, my
yeah.
love. That's sick. I think 101 episodes and no one said that. So that's cool.
Hey, fuck
102.
yeah.
102. I like that. That's sick. And guys,
Yeah.
where can
Thank
people find you? Like stalk you, follow you? Like what's the best way to kind of see this process?
Stalking's harder these days because I don't even know where I'll be. But
True.
Instagram's probably the best place is Instagram, Lauren Killey. And
Sick.
yeah, please, people message. Like I love conversation and just reaching out, connecting. So message
Amazing.
with any random tidbit. Yeah.
Amazing. I love it. I'll put all your stuff in descriptions and all that sort of stuff as well.
Beauty.
So it's both super easy. Um, I'm good, man. I'm gonna go get pre-workout meal and go to the gym. So it's cool.
Yeah. Go enjoy that first meal.
Will do, my love. Easy. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you. See you later.